is being looked at as a strange person to someone who says, Mujhe jeene ka hak hai completely and I will live. She's not asked for death, she's asked for life. And that's why she's an inspiration. We will take questions for her as well as Sanjeev at the end. And is that okay with you, Shivi?
Yeah, perfectly all right.
Thank you. So from here, we go to the next speaker. The next speaker on the forum is Sanjeev Wadehra. So Sanjeev takes me back to my time 11 years back. 11 years back, he was my neighbor in a village of Prague called Horomaritze. This is where we stayed as neighbors together. And his wife, Mohani Wadehra, would come over at home at times. Brilliant people, beautiful family. They have a son and they had their niece staying with them. And I haven't seen somebody more loving, more beautiful. So I want to quote what really happened in my life. You remember, I started with a story, but I didn't complete it. So I said to you, and I made a very bold statement that if I am here in front of you, one of the reasons that I'm sitting in front of you today, very in place and very balanced, is Sanjeev Wadehra. And he probably might find it difficult to receive today because I have a very bad receiving. And I understand that when someone is giving you, acknowledging you, it becomes really, really tough to take that acknowledgement. But today, Sanjeev, please just open your heart and take the acknowledgement that I want to give you. So Vikram had lost his job. That's my husband, just like Shivi's husband lost his job. And we were going through a very trying time. And I was someone who was teaching Reiki there, positive thinking and everything. And I was learning my EFT, started with my meta medicine learning over there, but nothing was holding me. And then an angel came by and said to me, why are you worried? This is one day before my house is getting packed. We are coming back from we're coming back from someone's house, which is a farewell party for us because we are leaving Prague. And Sanjeev stands next to me and says, you've given up, haven't you? And I looked at him and says, the offer still stands. And I'm looking at him and wondering what to say to him. And I had truly given up. Between that time at 9:30, 10 at night, or maybe 11 or 12 at night, to the next day morning, everything had changed for me because he said to me, had he not said to me once more, the offer still stands. And the offer was that he was able to show Vikram as an employee in his restaurant. That way we could have stayed back in Czech Republic and get our permanent residency. And this was possible because Sanjeev had created something. Now, it was so interesting for me. Next day morning, the packers came home, the house started getting packed, and then Vikram walks in and says, I don't want you guys to leave. We were all crying together. And that's when I called up Sanjeev and says, does the offer still stand? And he says, yes. And I stayed back with my children for 6 months more. I got the comfort of having my children with me for 6 months more. And those 6 months were the most precious 6 months of my life because after that, I had to part with my kids, both of them, and send them to the hostel. 6 months more with your kids. Thank you, Sanjeev. I wish always angels come and protect you and never ever your family ever has to face anything called sadness. That's always been my blessing, always been something that I've always looked up at all of you and said, you were my angel at the time when my world was falling apart. And thank you so much for being here today and gracing this beautiful place. Thank you. So over to Sanjeev, and we will find out from Sanjeev that how did he cross through the journey of going from India to Prague and opening up a restaurant and a hotel there. And he continues to live there for the last 20 odd years. And he, right now, I believe hospitality industry is going through a tough time, but I'm sure he's going to bounce out of it. Over to Sanjeev. Sanjeev, you'll have to unmute yourself.
Yeah. So basically, I'm from Delhi, and in 1982, I had a dream that hotel is very glamorous job and tarara tarara takla. So I joined the hotel management school, and by the same time, I was doing my uh, uh, graduations. So I got a job in Taj as a trainee and as a trainee waiter. So I joined that. That was in 1982. So I started working there, and simultaneously I did my become honors and everything. And then after training, I got another another position like a steward, and then it like with my dedication of work and all, I got promoted, and then I left Taj Group of Hotels in 1995. At that time, I was a manager of one of the best restaurant called Casamdici Italian restaurant. So I moved to Prague with one of the guy who wanted to open an Indian restaurant in Prague. There was only one Indian restaurant in 1995, which was run by Bangladeshi people. So finally, we came here. We opened a restaurant, and though you are coming to a country where you don't speak the language, the local language over here is still Czech, though now people do speak English, but very few. So setting up a business and working in the restaurant with the local clientele, it was a bit difficult or very difficult to understand them or explain them and everything. However, we did good, and with our dedication, the restaurant moved on. And my wife, Moini, as you said, and she helped me a lot that time also. She was coming to the restaurant in the evenings to work, and suddenly in 2002, it went down in the floods. There was heavy floods in August in 2002, and the restaurant was gone. Everything was gone, and at the same time, we had taken a four-star hotel on lease on a rented basis. So it was still there, but like finance was stopped coming during that time because there was no business at all, like now, what you can imagine. And then we had that hotel, and we were focusing on that. Finally in 2004, I met a local guy who came to me that he has a building and he want to renovate the building and do it in a hotel. So in 2004, we started working together with him. And then finally in 2006, we opened another hotel called Hotel Savage in 2006, December. And that we did it in 2006. And in 2007, that become very famous on TripAdvisor and Google and everywhere. And finally, we got a membership offer and being selected by Great Hotel of the World. So we become a member of that, and that ran very well. At the same time, we were looking, me and my wife was looking for an Indian restaurant, being an Indian, and the first restaurant was gone in the floods. So finally, we got a space just right in the center in 2008. So we opened this Indian Jewel, which was mostly opened by my wife because I was busy in the other hotels. So she was managing this, like making a menu, making a recipe, teaching the cooks, and all these things. That time Anu was still here, if Anu remember.
Yes.
If Anu was still here. So we opened in 2008 and still running the same restaurant. And we do have an apartment in the same building. And I have a laundry where we do our restaurant and apartments laundry, as well as commercial basis also. So finally, I have now only these three objects.
Wonderful.
This
So,
is the
Sanjeev, when your business went down
yes.
because of floods, what kept you going?
This was a very sad part that time because while you're living in Europe and you have only one thing to focus on for your finance, and you don't have anybody else from you can secure your finance or you can get your money. So it was in 2 3 days it was very very bad. Like we didn't know what to do. Finally, with the strong feeling that oh, we still have a hotel, so we can leave this space and we can focus on our hotel to make more business. And that's how I felt. And of course, Moini was still there to not provoke me, but to push me that
I
that
like that. Okay, so be honest. Did she provoke you, or did she push you?
no. She is always on my side. Till now, we've been married now 35 years.
Yes, and she's
So
beautiful, guys. She's an amazing pillar of strength. She stands with him, and if you sit in his car, she will put all kinds of shlokas there, and whether both of them will be actually listening to that. Tell me, Sanjeev, how did you learn the language? Because Chesky language is not easy. It's
yeah,
not
this
easy.
is the long story. I'm already here 25 years. So when I came here, I didn't know a word of hello. Like now I do speak Czech language, but I still cannot write perfectly. But then we in first restaurant in 2000 in 1995 or 96 we kept a local girl who spoke English and Czech. So we started speaking to her a little bit. Of course, everything in a bad way. So, and then I joined one school for, I went there for 6 days, but it didn't help me. So finally, in the hotels, all the hotels which I was running that time, so all the staff, mostly the staff were Czech, and we started speaking Czech with them, or at least me. So instead of that they talk to me in English, I will talk to them in Czech, and they will correct me.
Ah,
So
okay.
so I had like no hard feeling whether I'm saying the wrong words, and they were correcting me. No, sir, it's not like that. It's like that. So
Okay.
this is the correct pronunciation, or this is the correct word. So that's how I learned. And then, of course, going to the market, and then I was trying everywhere. Even like if I go to a drugstore and everywhere, so they will laugh at me, and then they will understand that I'm foreigner. So they appreciate that somebody's at least doing a practice to speak their local language rather than talking in English all the time.
Absolutely. So, for the people, for the Czech Republic who accepted you the way you are, is there anything that you would like to say to people when you go to a new place? How did you accept the new place, and how did the place accept you?
See, if you are going to a country like other language and you are setting up a business, and that also to an Indian restaurant, it's very, very hard.
Yes.
We never used to sleep till 12 o'clock or not before 1 o'clock. And when I had a restaurant and a hotel, I used to sleep around 1:30 or 2 o'clock, and I used to wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning because calls started coming. So we had barely sleep on those days, like 5 to 6 hours. So it is very, very tough. It's not that everybody thinks Europe is the best and we go, yeah, for holiday is the best. But when it comes to like work and a business, you have to, like, let's say you have to slog yourself to become something. It's not that everything is coming on the plate that, okay, come and eat it, man.
No.
So you have to work hard. So if somebody's thinking back in India or even in Europe that setting up a business is very easy, you throw money. Yes, of course, you throw money. But then after that, you have to realize that you have to run that business. Once you
Yes.
invested, everybody wants to take your investment back, either in a profit way or in a salary way or whatever the way they want. So everybody wants to do that. Nobody wants to invest for losing it.
No. No.
So it's very hard life, because over here labor is very costly, very very costly. So it's you have to do 100 things by yourself, which back in India we don't do it ourselves. So it's a totally different life in Europe. It's all over Europe. It's not only in Czech Republic.
Yeah,
It's
it's all
everywhere is the same. It's every husband and wife both have to work to maintain their house or their business. It's not like that one person is working and one person is having a trip to US.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? So,
Absolutely.
and the
Absolutely.
Czech Republic goes like when we came, we were treated as a gypsies, like Indians, because that time it was not many Indians here, not even Indian restaurants. So finally, there was a new one English newspaper, Prague Post, which was like a weekly. So we were mentioned there, and according to that newspaper, the Czech newspaper took the cuttings and they posted in Czech local language. That's how the Indian food little becoming little bit more famous. Other than that, in their head, like Czechs head, Indian food is only spicy and curries. There's nothing beyond this. So slowly, gradually, now they understand. Now in Prague, you have more than 100 Indian restaurants.
Wow. More than 100.
Yeah.
Wow. And it wasn't there at one time.
No, it was when we came here, it was our was the second Indian restaurant. And when I opened this one, Indian Jewel now, in
Yes.
2008, it was 19th. And from 2008, within 12 years, it's a boom in the business of Indian restaurants.
Wow. So, Sanjeev, what do you think is are the qualities that are required for someone to be a good businessman?
Well, no, you have, oh, there's only one thing that you have to dedicate to your work, whatever you are planning to do. Like we were planning to make, we were in the hospitality business. My wife is also from the hotel background. So we both decided that we will concentrate on a hotel and give more time on that other than the holidays. So if you are connecting in that way, that you put more time or more of your positive energy into it, that obviously the fruits will come. You know, if you're sitting at home and doing on internet business, that is different thing. But this hospitality industry, you have to become yourself to stay in your place, to promote in the other ways. Like now it's internet, or you can say like Instagram, Facebook, everything is there to help you. In our time, 25 years back, it was not there. So we did it manually by ourselves, not by technology. Like now we are doing with the technology also, of course. Without technology, nothing works now.
Absolutely. Guys, I'm going to show you a few photographs of his uh, uh, his restaurant and his wife, and I'm showing you from another drop altogether. 1 minute. Let me unmute that drop also. Can you see me in the other
Yes.
drop? Yeah. So what I'm going to do is mute myself here and just show you the photographs. So just have a look. Technology is so beautiful today. And photos. Okay, so let's go to how his restaurant really looks. Can can't. Okay. Cancel. Go up. Screen share. Cancel. Screen share on photos. Can you see anything? No, I can't see anything here. Okay. Can you guys see this?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes,
Yes, yes.
amazing.
Okay, that's the restaurant. We're going to go to the next photograph. Okay, so technology, guys, you have to really, okay. So the next one, photos. We go to the next one. Done. That's his Indian restaurant. Can you see that? It's
Yes, yes.
beautiful, guys. It's an amazing place. It's something that you just feel you've come to Little India. So this is for everyone. If you ever go to Prague, please do go to this restaurant. And what's the name again, Sanjeev?
Indian Jewel.
The Indian Jewel, and it's in the main
In,
square, right?
yeah, it's main city center near Old Town Square. That is the main attraction of Prague.
Very good. So let's go to the next photo. Sorry, it doesn't take more than that's another clipping of how his place looks and the Chesky people around.
Yeah.
And yes, let's go to the next one. And the next photograph is his wife and his son. That's his son and that's his wife. Beautiful Mohini. And can you see how beautiful they look together? Okay, let's go to the next one. And that's the family together with his mom and dad. And that brings me back to Sanjeev.
Yeah.
How did your mom and dad have any part to play in this whole story to create a
See,
dream?
me and my wife both are very much attached with my mother and father. She also. And when we left India in 1995, so they were a little bit sad that you will do there and this and that if doesn't work out. So finally, so this in 1996 they called me, if you're not happy, come back. I said no, it's okay. So this then finally my wife said to call them. So we called them over. We sat a little bit in 1998. So first time they came in 1998 to visit us, and then they saw everything and they were very happy. So since then, from 1998 till today, they're coming every year for 6 months, and they have a permanent residence over here, though they don't have a passport, but they do have a permanent residence here. So they, from April, when there's a very hot in Delhi, April till mid of October before Diwali, they going back and
Wow.
coming every year.
And this is
It's almost 22 years. So
yeah.
so
So I just want everybody to know this. Mohini is someone who not only helped her husband, but also was someone who was extremely respectful to her in-laws and for last 22 years. And I've seen other members of Sanjeev's family who have been very lovingly nurtured in Czech Republic. You also made sure a few people in your family got educated and moved ahead in life. I mean, that
yeah,
was
my
beautiful.
sister daughter came first in 2002 to study computer engineering, which you must be knowing, Suchi.
Yes.
And she finished her master's in the computer science, and she was a very good student. And then finally she got a job, and she stayed with us for 10 years with us in Hormuzse. And then finally she got married in 2012. And the same year, her brother came, my sister son, he came here to do MBA. So he did his
Wow.
MBA in 2012, and he stayed with us till 2018, and he got married, and he's gone away. So it's almost 16 years. My elder sister, both kids were with us, and plus my parents during the summer. So we had a good life during the summer because our house was full of people other than staying 2.5 person there.
Very
So
nice. Very nice.
both of
So
them studied here.
brilliant. Would you like to give any message to people who are giving up right now?
No, that giving up doesn't exist anymore. You have to do it, and willingly, if you do it, you will get it. Otherwise, if you are giving up, thinking that is not my part of job, it's not my plate, I cannot do this, I cannot do that. I don't think so. I do it everything, and I still have energy from morning till night. I can do everything. I can work in the restaurant, and I can do everything. If you have positive energy and always think positive, there is nothing impossible for me.
Wonderful. And
I
with
don't
that,
know about others.
absolutely, with that beautiful note that there is nothing that is impossible. अगर आपने अपने दिल में ठान ली है कुछ करने की, तो फिर आपके साथ खुदा खड़ा होगा ही होगा. And
Yes.
you will be able to cross everything that you thought was a hurdle. क्योंकि कुछ hurdle होता ही नहीं है. It is only opportunity, 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 and opportunity. And only you have to see it that way. Brilliant. We're opening now the forum for question and answers from the Facebook as well as otherwise people question answers. Please unmute yourself and ask from both my guests whatever that you would like to ask them. Thank you. सवाल पूछिए सर जी, दोनों बैठे हैं. Two beautiful souls who've had absolutely different journeys, one from a small city to a big place like Mumbai, and from being someone who was considered little different to someone who has really made a difference in people's lives, to a person who was sitting Delhi ka munda, suddenly in Prague, पंजाबी बोलते बोलते इन्होंने चेक बोलनी सीख ली और
हाँ जी,
बिल्कुल और चेक लोगों को इंडियन खाना खिला के
खिलाना
बहुत
शुरू कर.
बिल्कुल. And that's a journey, guys, and that doesn't just happen with just certificates. That happens when you have that certificate inside you that you can do it and you are ready to put in your sweat, sleep less, but you are ready to do what it requires to keep moving. वो क्या कहते हैं, थकना अलाउड नहीं है और थकना भी अलाउड है पर गिव अप करना बिल्कुल अलाउड नहीं है. चलिए सवाल पूछिए सर जी. I'm going to ask somebody to read. I'm having a little vision problem today. So विजय आप जरा चैट पढ़ेंगे और मुझे बताएंगे जरा, is there anything significant that we need to read, or can you read that loudly for me please, Vijay? Thank you. Nisha, you have a question?
Yeah, so I just have a question for Mr. Wadehra.
Okay,
That
go
Yeah.
ahead.
with all this hard work and everything he does, how does he manage his work-life balance?
What
How do
was the
you manage?
question? How you manage last?
Your
How
work-life balance. So how do you
life?
manage like your home, family, kids, and work together? Like, you know, you told us that your parents come and everything. So how do you manage everything, like entertainment-wise and, you know, spending quality time with them?
You know, it's very simple. When I'm at home, I switch off my mobile. It doesn't ring, so nobody now can call me. And when I'm at home, I'm only taking care of people who are at home, whether to entertain them or whether to cook for them or whether to take them for a ride or whether to bring them a pizza from outside. And when I'm at work, I do only work at my restaurant and thinking about how to promote the restaurant and how to generate the business. So there is two different life I'm playing now. Does it satisfy you, Nisha?
Thank you. That's brilliant.
There is
Yes.
one question,
Thank you.
Anuji, from Akshan,
Okay.
that he or she, I don't know,
Okay.
had written that Mr. Sanjeev को कैसा वो unconditionally लोगों को कैसे support करते हैं? How it comes to him naturally?
Sanjeev ji,
How
जवाब दीजिए.
does
How
it
do
come
you
to Sanjeev ji?
unconditionally, how do you support people?
See, unconditionally, like, I don't know that guy what he's trying to ask. Like, unconditionally supporting, like about the my staff or for my family, or
नहीं, अभी आप देखिए, मेरे ख्याल से ये इन कॉन्टेक्स्ट अनु जी हो सकता है, बिकॉज सडनली यू वर लाइक एन एंजल टू हर,
okay, but
है
you
ना?
know with
तो मे बी ये एक सिर्फ उन्होंने जनरल
question
में बोला है, तो ये और भी लोगों के साथ एप्लीकेबल हो सकता था, जरूरी नहीं अनु जी, ये हर किसी के लाइफ में हो सकता है, मेरे लाइफ में हो सकता है और किसी के लाइफ में हो सकता है। तो आपने इनको या किसी को भी अनकंडीशनली, वो आपके अंदर से कैसे आता है? हाउ डज इट कम टू यू नेचुरली? दैट इज द क्वेश्चन।
अगर कोई प्रॉब्लम लेके बताए अपनी, एंड आई कैन हेल्प इन दैट वे, लाइक at the maximum what I could do for them, I'm still doing it for last 25 years. It's not only like Anu was little different. We were friends and everything. So I got a little bit disappointed when I came to know due to work visa, like visa problem, he has to leave. And I was in the position to make that thing possible. And it's not only with Anu, it's like it's a journal thing. If like my staff who comes to like to bring their family from home to make the paperwork and to support them, I'm still doing it, because if I like, it's very too hard to listen to the problem and tell them, oh chhod do yaar, hamari problem thodi na, you know.
बट
I'm not that kind of person.
मुझे ऐसा लगता है सर, संजीव जी, मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि ओनली अ पर्सन विद अ गोल्डन हार्ट, विद अ बिग हार्ट, विद द प्योरेस्ट हार्ट कैन थिंक of the work that you are doing to support any person who comes to you for certain suggestion or certain help. तो मेरे ख्याल से अक्षान को ये आंसर मिल चुका होगा कि definitely this guy has a big heart, so that's why